This is Selfie Bot. It's an interstellar being that has been sent from the depths of space to document humans on planet Earth. And after sitting for just a couple minutes, you have a unique picture of yourself, and it's eerily similar to how my friend Kelly draws people. But let me take you behind the scenes to show you how this idea became a reality. I first designed this up in Autodesk Fusion to get an idea of dimensions and the overall shape. After winning a grant to build this, we went to the hardware store to get supplies. Now, the biggest challenge is to have Selfie Bot be able to fit into Kelly's car all in one trip. So I figured that the easiest way to assemble and break down sections of the robot is by incorporating hinges and latching mechanisms. And it's important that there's no sharp objects in the internal frame because we wouldn't want Kelly or any other interstellar being to get poked. For the arms and legs of the robot, we wanted to add a little bit of flash to the skin, and found this sparkly, flexible fabric, which we sewed and stretched over the sections of dryer duct tubing. Check out these cool hands. We're gonna have these attached into the tubes. And also these ears. So things are coming along. It's going to attach really nicely too because we've got these coupler connectors that are going to slot into the wood, screw those in, and then they just snap in. Now, it's all been pretty simple so far of making boxes within boxes that have to be secure enough to stand up and the ability to collapse down. But we haven't addressed the challenge of comfortably fitting a human, or any other alien creature, inside of this frame with the ability to have them look out and observe the world. And that's where the Lazy Susan comes into play. I was going to have to adapt this in order to secure it, and did multiple measurements to be sure that it would fit properly, because we only have one opportunity to make this work with the last piece of wood. I hope you're picking up on the inevitable foreshadowing that's going to go wrong, but we'll get there. At this moment, we're blissfully making the head. And talking about heads, it was time for Kelly to test out where she could see with her line of sight, and how cramped she could draw in this claustrophobic nightmare. Then came time to test everything together in the dry fit, which didn't go as planned. We've got our outhouse box. Let's see what an artist feels inside. We've got a chair that goes in and fits up in the front.
A little too close.
What do you think? It's too close.
Too close to the front.
Your knees hit?
Yeah.
So we need to move it back.
Yeah. Probably like 4 inches or so.
So 4 inches. We'll trim it off the back. We'll put up 4 inches in the front. Now, in the perfect world of Selfie Bot, they don't make mistakes. But here on Earth, we all make our fair share, and it's our ability to adapt to these changes that makes us a fascinating species. And overall, it wasn't that big of a deal because the paint would fill in any gaps from the seam. With the construction and woodworking mostly done, it was time to add some color to Selfie Bot. A great touch was adding a two-way mirror for the mouth for the artist to look out of. The eyes have LED lights that cycle through a bunch of colors, and the arms and legs lock perfectly into place. Rare earth magnets became our best friends because they are strong enough to hold all of the fun exterior games on the outside, yet are easily removable when transporting Selfie Bot around. All that was left was to let Selfie Bot loose in the park and see how the human population interacted with a pre-AI, non-digital, somewhat stationary interstellar being share its interpretation of the Homo sapien form. Instantly, people were curious of Selfie Bot's purpose and thought there was some sort of cost, but in Selfie Bot's world, there's no form of currency other than a couple minutes of time to capture each person's unique likeness. Other people enjoyed the games while they waited, and each participant was surprised to actually receive a full piece of paper sheet portrait of their intergalactic image.
It's my true self. You're not gonna say where it came out. No, are you guys going to do one? That's adorable. Oh, you guys are all together?
With the sun setting, it was time to pack up and go, which was the real test for me to see how well all of the pieces could easily collapse down and be simply moved around a massive park. The magnets and duct tubing fittings are a great touch, and the latches and hinges hold up really well on any sort of uneven terrain. The head has a handle inside to easily turn to 360 degrees, so Selfie Bot can observe as much as possible. This also slots perfectly into place on the Lazy Susan. The top of the head also has a musical chime to let the person know that their portrait is ready. Having the two sections collapse down and fold in half make it really simple to move around, as well as take up the least amount of space in a compact car. All the large pieces come apart, and I even made a shelf for Kelly to rest all of her art supplies and a place to draw, which is also 4 inches away from the front, giving her knees plenty of room. The Connect 4 game is low profile and helps space the panels with a little bit of a buffer when they're all stacked together. All that's needed to move everything is a collapsible hand truck, and even with Selfie Bot's limbs and 2 chairs, it neatly fits into the back seats of a Kia Soul. So if you see Selfie Bot in a park near you, take a couple minutes to have a seat, relax, and get to know a stranger from another planet, as well as receive a free portrait of yourself.
Portrait came through, let's see. Ta-da!
And no matter what planet you're from, have fun and keep on making.